Then I told him a word. I told him something, because this guy in question is somebody that does giveaway on Instagram. He does huge giveaway. We're talking of million naira giveaway on Instagram. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? What's going on, all the wonderful drivers out there, all the wonderful passengers? You're welcome to the Driverpreneur channel. And about today, this story I'm about to share with you guys, it gives me a mixed feeling. Like, it's hilarious, and it's, you know, it just make me feel, say, this life have really changed. Like, things have really changed. It's a big time change. There's a big time change in the world right now, and you need to just see it and be open for the new change. Almost like, you know, last week was a bit duller than this week. The business is just starting to pick up, you know, gradually, and, you know, at a very steady pace. So we can always still just be hopeful. With the rain now, the roads are very bad and all. So what's the man go do? Anyways, I picked up a rider from the mainland. I took the rider to the island, Lekki axis. So on getting to that axis, immediately I got the trip. The trip showed me the trip was going to Victoria Island, yeah. So no, Lekki. So I accepted, proceeded to pick the rider. On getting there, I saw this very, you know, cool guy. You know, had a very, you know, a good design. It looks like a bit of an half caste. Like, you know, okay, this guy he speaks some couple of languages, at least. Now, so at the ERRAND they communicate and all. So getting halfway to the trip, he told me that you know, good guy, has good charisma. So he told me that I should end the trip, that we should go offline, that he still want to do a lot of work, a lot of movement. You know, I saw his slippers. He was putting on the Versace slippers, cool slippers, like wearing the Gucci glasses. Like, this guy was looking all very cool. Like, you would see this guy and say, this guy has millions of dollars. He had a look. So while on the trip, I told him, are you sure? Like, my food day, like, do you want to use me for food day? He said, yeah, maybe around food day. I said, okay. Now, what I charge because of the dullness of the job. He asked me first what I earn in a day. I told him that, okay, because of this COVID-19 thing, it's a bit dull. So, you know, I wouldn't want to miss that opportunity. Last week, we were struggling. A lot of drivers were struggling to make even 7K in a day. So I said, okay, since I've seen a, you know, guy that's looking this expensive, he may be able to pay the service for a full car hire for a day. So I told him I could do, at that time of the day was around 12. I said I could do 15,000 bucks. Yeah, 15,000 naira. He was like, it's not too much. I said, yeah, that's what we charge for full day. If it was before now, it was about 25,000 bucks. Or yeah, it depends on the driver, 20,000, 25,000. So the guy accepted. You know, we did a couple of movements, you know, within the island, Lekki, Koyi. You know, he went to check some houses. He said he wanted to buy a property. His budget was about 300 million, you know. So he was with an agent. The agent took him around, showed him a lot of properties, beautiful properties. You know, while I was with him, he was calling, there was a guy calling him. So it was like, my driver keeps getting into problem. He keeps getting into problem. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's a stupid driver. Doesn't know how to drive. He told me, he was asking me, how long have you been driving? I said, I've been driving for over a year now. It's commercial. I said, have you had any accident? I said, no. He said, oh, really? Okay. So with the way he was talking, he was sounding like he had a driver that he was paying, maybe monthly or something. So now he is trying to say, since the job is a bit dull, he was giving me the signals that, okay, I would need a new driver. So I said, no, let's continue on the journey. So it's a very cold day anyways, like very cold. Last night it rained, so that's why I'm wearing my jacket. So we eventually went to see his driver. So he had an iPhone, this latest iPhone X something iPhone. I don't know the model, but it has these cameras on the back. So he had one on his hand. We eventually saw the driver. The driver had his plate number pulled off police. I think he entered one way by mistake, because there's a lot of one way in Lagos, a lot of one way, and especially Victoria Island axis on the island. They pulled his plate number out, they took his battery out. The guy was stranded, confused on the road. So when we got there, we went down, he collected the phone, then like he just told him one or two things, and then he said we should go. So that guy, what I eventually found out is that guy, the same trick he played on me, the same trick he wanted to play on me, he didn't actually succeed, is what is playing out with that guy. And I see a lot of drivers always shouting offline, 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 offline. Before you do offline, be very careful. Be very, very, very careful. You don't know who you are riding with, so be very careful. So I took him to fix that phone. Apparently, he must have sent that the driver with that phone to go and fix in Sakati Nimbu, because he collected the phone and we headed straight down to Sakati Nimbu where we fixed the phone. So eventually fixed the phone, 20k, sent them the alert. Later he told me about him trying to get money. The guy gist me, man. The guy gist, I swear, man. You gist, I go still like see that guy, because that guy has very sweet mouth. The guy gets sweet mouth gone. So we got to Admiralty Way Park. He said he wanted to eat. He wanted to buy me lunch. Wow. Who says no to a lunch in Chicken Republic? So we went to the Chicken Republic. He did a transfer. He doesn't have his ATM with him, so that he will do the transfer to me to pay those guys. So he did 13,000 bucks. Yeah, I saw the alert. I took my ATM, bought the food. I bought some like pies and chicken and all. So he too bought. So we were sitting in the car. I said we would wait for a lady who was supposed to meet up in same what's it called, Lekki, to show him a property. Although we drove all the way to Palms to check that lady out, as in to see the lady. He was telling me about how about this guy gist me, and that's one fun thing about this ride share thing. Like, you meet a lot of people, and guy, you need to be very smart. If not, some people will outsmart you. So we went to see the lady, and we drove all the way. We waited. He bought perfumes. They bought some very expensive perfume. All these islanders, they sabi the swag where they know how to make you feel. Most of them don't have nothing in their pocket, but they know how to make you feel like they have millions in their pockets. So we went back to Lekki, checked the property. The woman was offering there something about 220 million. Beautiful place, big, large, spacious. So after the whole thing, we went home, dropped perfume. We went back to Foodies. I took the daughter then, then went back home, dropped him off. I told him, okay, no wahala, you paid me 13k and I ate from that 13k. So let's say you paid me 10,000 naira from 12 till around when I dropped you off at about 8 o'clock. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. 10k. So so after I dropped him, he said that will I be available tomorrow, that we're leaving very early in the morning, so I should try to make it up like around 9 o'clock latest. I was there at exactly 8:30. It's exactly 8:30 in the morning. Went against all the traffic, left the home on time to the island. It was a Saturday though, so the traffic was very light, but I left home around, I think, 7 o'clock or 7:30. So I got to the island quite on time. Called him. He stays in this very nice apartment in Lekki, where you had a kitchen and in the sitting room, like with the big evaporator, like extractor. Nice apartment. So, I got there. I called him. I entered the compound, parked. Then I sat in the sitting room, made myself, a very cool guy, made me very comfortable in his house. That's cool. Even the first day, no, I think that's the second day. So I was comfortable. I made a cup of tea, made me very comfortable in the morning. So waited till he got out of bed at about 11. I think they had breakfast or something. Yeah, they had breakfast, bread and tea, egg. Then he had a very beautiful daughter. Beautiful daughter. So we left the house. We headed straight to Badore. Man, if you see the road, a lot of water. I was sad. Water, I was entering the water. It wasn't that deep though, but there was water there. You know where we went to track? We went to track. That's his former driver, which he assumes, because it tells me he needs a new driver, that guy that he doesn't need that guy anymore. That needs a new driver. So apparently he wants me to be the new driver. However, he had already told me a gist about him clearing a G-Wagon G63 from the port that he has paid 20 million naira. You know, the guy gisted me a lot though. Told me how he bought a house. He bought a house for a Nigerian actress and a car, a GLK. The guy just told me millions. Told me about how he worked with the Marines in the US and how he how he got a contract for 8 months and was paid $200,000 every month for 8 months, man. So he looked it. So I said, no wahala. Make I do him for the boss now. He's a boss now. Somebody that's talking about millions of dollars. So we got there and apparently it was that driver. We went to his house. You know, some couple of guys that they say do music. So, you know, those guys were surrounding him like, he says the producer too. So, you know how it is now in Nigerians. You know how they do around, you know, fresh people. He was telling me about wanting to buy property in this place, in that place. Man. So anyways, we went there and we didn't even do anything reasonable. We just went there to see the musicians, nothing, no. So we left there, we went straight to the market in Badore. There's a market in Badore. So we before then, he told me he wanted to cross over the water with the jetty to see Ikorodu exit. I told him the jetty is around that area, so he said he wanted to cross over. Maybe he can see real estate opportunities that he could probably invest in this place, in this part of Lagos. So he withdrew money. He withdrew some cash. I think about $5,000. So when we got to the jetty, he changed his mind. He said he hit his left foot on a rock, that he wouldn't want to cross the water after that kind of experience. So then we went to the market to buy like something for lunch. We stayed a long time in the market. I was even assisting him with, you know, some of the, made it easy for him. So you understand. Then we drove all the way to Osapa, London. There's this shop right there where he went to buy this small rice. And he just on everything in details. So we went home, we made lunch. I was so hungry, and the fish was looking all good. What's it called? Croaker fish. So after lunch, it was already getting late already around, because it took a while before that stuff got done. So took a long while. So we had that food around 3 o'clock or thereabouts, or 4 o'clock. So he said he still wants to go somewhere else. So I took him out to, I think, Victoria Island. Made some couple of stops within Lekki. Then I took back of some of that food that I was going to give to a lady in what's the name of this place? Around that Agungi axis. Towards that side. So we drove all the way to that area from Lekki. You know, it was already getting late, it was already dark. So we gave the girl the food. He was telling me how he wanted a virgin to marry, you know. Guy gisted me plenty gists. So we eventually went to Victoria Island again. So it was in Victoria Island. I waited. I was so angry and pissed. It was already almost 10 o'clock. Like 9 something. He told me I was not going to waste time. So I texted him. It's almost curfew. Let's leave this place. I called him. He visited my car. Eventually, I don't want to leave him stranded there. If I leave him, he's not going to get a taxi. All taxi closed as at last week, closed by 7 p.m. I think Uber closes 8. So But this week it has increased. I think it's 9 o'clock now, guys. I got a request around VI around 9 in the night within the week. So I think this week it has changed. So he eventually came out at 11. He now sent me a message that, okay, you sleep over at my place, so please, as in, I beg. Okay. So, okay, no wahala. What's the highest thing? I'll sleep over. This place is comfortable. There's lights 24 hours. It's a service apartment. So we eventually got home around almost 12, like 11:40 something, 11:45. And on the way, I had to tip police because he had no cash on him. I had to tip police for them to let us pass. You know how it is in Nigeria. This curfew thing, yeah, you need to be careful. Try to get home on time because this police can change it for you. So we got home. I showered. I tried to make myself comfortable on the couch. I slept off. Before we got in, I told him, "Are you making the payment now?" He said, "No, I tired that tomorrow morning you'll send the money to me. I should just send him my details," which I already did. So this thing is funny. So when I got home in the morning, that was Sunday. He asked me. I already sent him my details and all. I didn't see the money. You know, I didn't bother him. I said, maybe he was still sleeping. Then he now sent me a message that if I'm working today. Although I told him not to go out, and because these girls, he was telling me about how these girls take money from him, how he spent money for this. So I told him not to go. Okay, don't go out. Just chill with your family, with your daughter. You understand? So I guess he wanted to go out. So he called me. I told me if I was working today. I told him, no, I'm not working. And that today is Sunday. I want to take today off. So that was how it lingers. But to cut the long story short, he kept on telling me that he had bank issues and network issues in his bank. You know, I suggested for him to go to an ATM, to use the ATM to do a transfer. He said he has never done that. So almost a week, fast forward, almost a week, he kept giving me that same story. That same story that he has network issue with his bank. You know, how can you have network issue with your bank for almost 1 week and you've not gone to the bank to rectify it? You know, that's you know how it is, not being honest. So then I told him a word. I told him something, because this guy in question is somebody that does giveaway on Instagram. He does huge giveaway. We're talking of million naira giveaway on Instagram. Then I told him, oh, so since you play on the Instagram very well, if I don't get my money on Monday latest, I will call you out on social media. 5 seconds later, he sent me a message that he has done it. He's not thinking. He was supposed to pay me 15,000 for overtime, because I told him that overtime additional cost 5,000. But I'll let him go. But what this video, the essence of the video is to tell you guys, be careful out there. There are a lot of fake people out there. Be very careful. Be very careful. To stay safe, be online. Do your deal online. If the other time you can do offline, probably it's okay. Maybe something happened, the person called you, or maybe the person mistakenly, as in sometimes they will request you and it's to cancel, maybe due to card declinement or something. So then the person now called you, maybe I've gotten your contact, or you have gotten the person's contact. The person made contact. You go there. Are you listening? You go there. When you meet this person, tell the person to request for you back online when you are close to the person. Tell the person to request for you so that you can be online and be safe. Sometimes you can do offline and then you go and meet, you agree a price. You say, okay, from here to Ikorodu, I'll take you for maybe Aja, around Aja houses to Ikorodu. You say you take action. Then you are going and then something happens on Ikorodu road and you have to spend a lot of waiting time. How are you going to calculate it? So it's safer to be. Sometimes I do offline, but sometimes, most of the time I do offline, I always regret it. Like most of the time, I always regret it. Or maybe if I'm seeing an interstate trip, because of network can be cutting on the way, I can take it. Okay, let's negotiate it offline. But yeah, within the city, people are out there. They want to take advantage of you. They portray themselves as very rich, so that you can respect them and And at the end of the day, just turn you to an errand boy. So guys, as you can see, I have to just protect his identity. I don't want people to know him, you know, because I'd have called him out and made all his full details known. So guys, just be careful out there, and please be smart out there on the street. It's not easy. You need to be smart. I'll give you guys another story of how people wanted to transport drug through my vehicle, through my service, in the disguise of it being a phone. I'll share that story in another story time. So guys, be safe out there. Always make sure you play it safe, smart, and always stay online. It's for me to all you guys. I'm saying peace.